I know. I've had enough of online meetings and online presentations too. I am gagging for a live audience and no more Zooms or Microsoft Teams meetings, but I think they're here to stay for a while. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Yes, once again, we're talking about online meetings and online presentations because they are great. They're really not. They're terrible. They're awful. The quality bar is so low. They're bad. They are bad. People don't make enough effort. But this is me doing my bit to try and improve the audience's experience. So watch on and I'll tell you how to structure an online meeting or an online presentation. As always, please do subscribe to my channel and let me know what content you want me to make. I do focus on everything online at the moment because it seems to be what you want to see. But I cover everything to do with public speaking, from creating content, creating slides, scripting, rehearsing, planning and preparation, and also performing. So if there is something that you would like me to cover, then let me know in the comments below. Right, enough of that. Let's get on with it. Here are some tips for you when it comes to structuring your online meeting or online presentation. Applying a structure to your online meeting or your online presentation will 100%, I guarantee, make it better. Applying a structure will make it better. So I'll say that one more time. Applying a structure will make it better. And the good news is it's really easy to do. If you ask me, there's no excuse for not doing it. Far too many people are just jumping online, creating absolutely crap content and expecting audiences to absorb it. There is somebody at the other end of that laptop. There is somebody watching your online meeting or your online presentation. You have an audience even though they are not in the room, so you best make an effort. And applying a structure is the easiest way to do that. So enough of the preaching, we will get on with it now. I promise, we'll get on with it now. The first thing that you should do with regards to your structure is start 5 minutes past the hour. Now, I'm not going to talk about timing because I did a video on that and I'll link that just here for you, but take a look at it. Timing is so important. Starting 5 minutes after the hour means you're definitely giving your audience an opportunity to start refreshed. They've got 5 minutes for a loo break, they've got 5 minutes to down a cup of coffee, whatever it is. It gives them a moment so they are ready for your presentation or meeting. The second thing that you should do with regards to your structure is think about how you're welcoming your audience. Again, I've got a whole video on how to start an online meeting or presentation, which I will link up here, but have a slide up that says welcome, maybe a bit of background music, and log in early. So make sure you are there early so you can check off everybody who's arriving, make sure that everybody is online before you start. And then finally, when it comes to starting, start on time. Make sure you start on time. So your audience have logged in, they're refreshed, they've seen the welcome slide and you have started on time. Now, my next tip is really important. The first thing that you should say is, in order to make the best use of your time, I'm going to dive straight into my presentation. In order to make the best use of your time, start your presentation or online meeting with that sentence, and I promise the audience will sit, pert and alert, they'll listen because they've never heard it before. Not enough people think about their audience's needs, and by you saying that you're going to make the best use of their time, they'll love you for that. I promise you, they will. Now we're getting to the meaty bit of the structure of your presentation or your online meeting. You've started by saying you're going to make the best use of your time. You then go into a 15 minutes max presentation. A TED Talk lasts 18 minutes and covers some of the most complex content in the world. So 15 minutes, you can do it. You can do it. You've got 15 minutes. How do you start? Well, the first thing you do is you start by telling the audience what you're going to give them. This sounds crazy, but audiences like to know where they're going. They like to know where you're taking them. So after you've said you're going to make the best use of your time and dive straight in, you then tell them what you're going to cover. In this presentation or in this meeting, I'm going to cover this, this, and this. Or by the end of my presentation, you'll know more about this, this, and this. Whatever it is, tell them at the start so they know where they're going. My next tip is all about engagement. I don't want to cover stuff I've covered before, so I'll link the video here, but really do think about engaging your online audience. It is difficult, it's different than doing it face-to-face, but it is so worth it. So make sure in your 15 minutes you add some audience engagement into it. Okay, next tip. You've done your 15 minutes. How do you end? Well, you end in the same way you started. You go back to those 3 things that you were going to deliver. Now, the easiest way to do this is with a slide at the start when you're telling the audience what you're going to give them. They are your 3 key messages, and you end with that slide as well. So at the end, you can say, okay, I've covered this, this, and this. Having 3 bullet points keeps you on track as a speaker. You've only got 15 minutes, so 5 minutes on each point is roughly where you want to be. And I know the same comment every time from people who are creating content is, that's not enough time, but it is enough time. Make the effort, only include exactly what needs to be included, and remember this saying, keep it simple, do it well. That's the mission here. So after your 15-minute presentation, what I would say you need to do is give the audience an opportunity to ask any questions. I'd give roughly 5 minutes for this, and what you're asking for is clarification that the audience understood those 3 key messages, also giving the audience the opportunity to raise their hand and maybe ask you a question outright. Being asked questions online, live, is being put on the spot. And that can be quite difficult if you're a nervous host or a nervous presenter and you're not really used to this. This video here will give you some tips on how to deal with difficult questions, but my advice to you is in those 5 minutes, make sure you stay on point. So if somebody asks you a question that has nothing to do with the content you've delivered, you need to deflect that and just explain that there will be another opportunity to ask questions like that, but right now you just want to focus on those 3 key messages. Don't worry if no one has a question. That happens all the time. If no one has a question, that's brilliant because the audience are going to finish early. You're going to finish your presentation or meeting early, and in the audience's eyes, that is great. That's good news. Don't worry if there are no questions. So my final point is a really important one. What do you do at the very end? You've got 15 minutes of presentation or 15 minutes of meeting. You've had 5 minutes of question opportunity, and now you've got your very final 5 minutes before you close. Now, I think you should focus on your next actions. Not enough people think about the next actions because not enough people think about why they're doing the online meeting or presentation in the first place. But if there are no next actions, then you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Next actions don't have to be complicated. They can be really simple. One, for instance, could be the time and date of the next meeting. Another one could be a deadline for work you're asking people to submit. Keep them simple, do it well, as I said. It's not dumbing it down, it's really just giving the audience content in a way they can digest it. And next actions are great because from an audience's point of view, you are telling them what you need them to do next. Next actions work really well. I would really encourage you to do it at the end of your presentation or meeting and put them on a slide as well so people can screen capture them if they need to. It means once again you are being very clear to the audience about what your expectations are and what you would like them to do next. So you see, it's not rocket science. It's pretty simple to apply a simple structure to an online meeting or presentation that actually makes all the difference to your audience. And that is ultimately what I would encourage you to do. Make sure you think about your audience, think about the people at the other end of that screen. And that's it, pretty simple stuff. As always, please do subscribe to my channel. Let me know down below what videos you'd like me to make next. I cover everything that is to do with public speaking, from creating, preparing content to delivering content live, online or on stage. So any questions you have, please do let me know. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for watching that video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, here's a link to some more. Please do subscribe because I'll be uploading videos weekly.